Today we're going to be revisiting Black Ops Cold War. I am so excited to be back on this game, making a video on this game. For those of you that don't know, I've been uploading daily since like the middle of Modern Warfare 2019's life cycle. In fact, we're approaching 3 years since I started uploading daily, which is just insane. And also just a quick little pat on my back, I haven't missed a single day since then. So yeah, I've been doing daily uploads for 3 years straight, which equals over 1,000 videos, I think, back to back. But anyway, I mentioned that because even though, yeah, I started during like the halfway point of Modern Warfare 2019's life cycle, Cold War is the first one where I was making content for the entirety of the year, from the beginning, from the betas, all the way up until the end, and I loved every single second of it. I've said this multiple times before, but Black Ops Cold War is honestly one of my favorite Call of Duties of all time, so I will gladly take any chance that I get back on this game, make content on it for you guys. And another reason that it holds such a special place in my heart is the fact that, you know, this game, while I wasn't necessarily blowing up during this time, it was when my channel started to see some actual traction, when I started to have more people coming in. In fact, there were some of you that were watching and commenting during that time that are still here watching and commenting to this day. So for those of you that have been here for this entire journey, seriously, thank you so much, like from the bottom of my heart, just thank you. I literally like don't even know what else I can do or say to like just show how appreciative I am of all the support that I've been given over the years up to this point. I can't even begin to tell you the hurdles that I went through back in the day when, you know, my equipment wasn't necessarily that great. I didn't even have a proper face cam or microphone for the videos. I didn't have a proper capture card. It was you know what? I think I could make an entire video on its own just explaining how complex my recording setup was back in the day, because it was definitely a lot more complicated than it needed to be, but I couldn't do it any simpler just because I lacked the proper equipment to do anything else. But anyway, all that aside, yeah, I went really hard on Black Ops Cold War. As you can see here, not only do I have the Dark Aether camo on my Vargo 52, but I also have DM Ultra here on my Street Sweeper, and man, both of these camos are absolutely gorgeous. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you which one I prefer more, because like depending on the lighting and depending on the situation, like Dark Aether is always beautiful, like no matter where you're at, it always looks great. But then DM Ultra, like it looks good for the most part, but it really does kind of rely on the lighting. So I guess I would say that Dark Aether is the better overall camo. However, that may be a bit of a nostalgia bias just because, you know, obviously I was there for Black Ops 3 when Dark Matter was first a thing. Speaking of Black Ops 3, before I recorded this video, I actually spent my entire morning playing Black Ops 3 Zombies. I just hopped on Shadows of Evil. RNG was not on my side. I was on that map trying to build the Apothicon Servant, and the one part that you need like entirely relies on RNG. Well, to a certain extent, a lot of the parts do outside of the Margwa heart, but the Margwa tentacle in particular, I never even ended up getting it. I died on like round 21 because, you know, I had to pack a bunch of ray gun, and I ended up basically getting myself down with splash damage. It was a whole mess. But no matter how many purple pods that I opened up, none of them had the Margwa tentacle inside of it. So I had all of the parts. It's just not, and it's funny because most times I end up waiting the longest for like the green ooze, whatever it's called, that you get from like the meatballs or the yellow flying things. No, I opened up like at least 15 of those purple pods, and literally none of them gave me the tentacle that I needed, so I just ended up never getting it. But hey, I got to pack a bunch of ray gun at least, which hey, the ray gun was like another weapon that I actually really wanted to hop on and use, so it is what it is. Before I got off of that game, I tried going into the multiplayer just to see if there was any lobbies alive, and man, that game is just dead nowadays. Granted, I do have all the DLCs installed, so that may be one of those things where, for those of you that don't know, in the Classic COS I used to have DLCs. If you have any of the DLCs installed, it'll only match you up with the players that have the exact same DLCs, so that's probably why I wasn't able to find any matches. I'm not sure. I might have to try it. Well, I probably wouldn't uninstall them. If anything, I'd probably just go on my PlayStation account because I don't have any of the DLCs outside of Zombie Chronicles over there. However, on Xbox One, I literally have the season pass, so it's like a nightmare trying to find multiplayer matches sometimes. I kind of wish that those older Call of Duty games had like a server browser or something like that. Like personally, I don't really like server browsers. I like how quick play works and, you know, just like normal Call of Duty. That being said, longevity wise, yeah, it would be a really nice feature if they could have like server browsers somehow in some of those older Call of Duties. I mean, granted, it's Activision, so they'd never go back to update them. I know Modern Warfare 3 had that feature where you could turn off the DLCs, basically, so then it would match you up with people that didn't have DLC. It just made it a lot easier for people to find matches. But for some reason, they didn't do that for any of the other Call of Duty games. I guess it was maybe a way for them to incentivize players that were revisiting the game to maybe go and purchase the DLCs. I'm not really sure. Because if anything, it only ever had the adverse effect of making people delete their DLCs, like for the ones that actually had it, just so that they had an easier time finding matches. If I'm gonna be honest, I do still prefer DLC packs in the way that like content was handled back in the day and the quality of the content that we were getting back in the day. Like, I like that things are free now, and while yes, we technically do get the same amount of content and we kind of get it more frequently with the way that the seasons work, it's the same amount of content overall. And I don't know, there was just something about the way that the DLCs were. I felt so much more excited anytime that a DLC was about to come out compared to like when a new season is dropping. But at the very least, I can't complain because even though things are free now, we're still getting some quality content. Like when you go back to Black Ops Cold War, all the zombies maps in this game are absolutely phenomenal. Even the ones that aren't like necessarily round-based, like Outbreak is still a phenomenal mode. Multiplayer is one of the most content-rich Call of Duties. We honestly, Black Ops Cold War may just be the most content-rich Call of Duty, period. I mean, outside of zombies. In terms of zombies, I would definitely go to Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 is still the most content-rich zombies experience. But in terms of multiplayer at least, I don't know, man. Cold War is up there. Do you guys realize just how many maps are in this game? It is insane. There's an abundance of original maps, and there's even more remakes and remasters. Like, this is honestly, like, it may be a little controversial for me to say this, but I feel like Black Ops Cold War might be the ultimate Black Ops experience. It has the most important maps from Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. It has a lot of the most important weapons from Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and some of the other games. It has a lot of the same, like, score streaks, and it has, like, the aesthetic and, like, feel of, like, Black Ops 1, since this was technically, like, supposed to be, like, Black Ops 1.5, at least, like, in terms of the canonical order of the way that the games go. Ultimately, Black Ops 2 is still my favorite Black Ops game overall. That's just the one that I return to the most. It's the one that I have, like, the most nostalgia for. Black Ops 3 would probably be a close second. I love Black Ops 3, especially, like, zombies in that game. It's so good. But when it comes to, like, a modern Call of Duty, and, like, when it comes to getting that Black Ops experience, I really don't feel like you can do any better than Cold War, just due to the fact alone that the servers are still the most alive for Cold War, and just considering the fact that it is the most recent game, like, objectively speaking, it is going to be the longest living Call of Duty out of any of the other Black Ops games, at least. Black Ops 3 is basically already dead. Black Ops 2 and 1, you can get lobbies sometimes on Xbox. On PlayStation 3, they're still alive for the most part, just because, you know, online was always free on PS3. Black Ops 4 is still doing relatively well, but, you know, Black Ops Cold War is just, objectively speaking, going to be the longest living, like the most abundant amount of players will be on Black Ops Cold War for the foreseeable future. Especially when you consider that compared to the other Call of Duty games, Black Ops Cold War outsold, like, literally all of them, I'm pretty sure. This game was just something else, man. I love this game so much. You know what? It wouldn't be a classic throwback Black Ops video if we didn't play Gun Game at least once. Man, this is sad. Barely anyone is playing Gun Game. I mean, then again, I am recording this at like 7 or 8 a.m. right now, so I mean, it kind of makes sense. Maybe just not everybody is on yet. We take a minute to admire my emblem and my calling card, especially the calling card. Playing this game just makes me so happy. You know, I love each and every single Call of Duty. I'm a shill for the series. That's very common knowledge at this point, but I definitely have a very heavy bias for the Black Ops games. There's just something about the way that they feel between the multiplayer, the campaigns, the zombies. It's just all around as a package. There's something about the Black Ops games. I definitely have a little bit of a bias for them, if I'm gonna be honest. Now, don't get me wrong, I still absolutely love Modern Warfare and all the other Call of Duties, of course. It's just something about Black Ops. Like, I guess it's just because, like, everything that I love about Call of Duty is in one package there. Like, the multiplayer, the zombies, the great campaigns, all of it is right there, especially, like, zombies. It doesn't matter what game you put it inside of, Gun Game is always an absolute blast. Gun Game Blueprints was also always one of my favorite modes in this game because it let you try out so many of the different, like, variants and bundles that were in the store. I mean, granted, the bundles that you were going to be trying were obviously always randomized, but it was still always fun getting to, like, use them and experience them and, like, test them out, especially because, if I'm going to be honest, the bundles were peak in Cold War. We had, like, the Rambo skin, the Die Hard skin, the Ghostface skin, like the one that I always rock. You had all those, like, crazy Dark Ether crystal skins, and all the bundles were absolutely phenomenal in this game. I know I've been shilling a lot in this video, but I mean, I can't help it. I love this game so much. I was worried that this game was going to die there for a while when there was all those, like, exploits and hackers and stuff ruining the game. I hate when hackers do that stuff, dude. Hackers are literally, like, the dumbest people on planet Earth. That being said, I'm glad Activision didn't just let this game, like, die and rot, and I'm glad that they actually put some people, you know, on this game to try and fix it and get the patches out, and thankfully, as of now, it seems like everything is still safe and fine with this game. I don't care, though. If I have to play this game in offline mode just to be able to experience it, I'll do it. I'll literally do anything that it takes to play Black Ops Cold War. I would prefer to play online so I can use all my, you know, stuff that I've unlocked in the multiplayer, the zombies, and all the bundles and stuff like that, but this game is just too good to die to some lousy hackers. Dang it, I tried, but we ended up losing anyway. Whatever, we got second place. It technically counts as a win. I'll take it. After revisiting this game, I don't even want to leave it. I honestly think I'm just going to keep playing this game. I mean, if you guys want more videos on it too, I'd definitely be more than happy to do that, but I don't want to leave. I'd definitely love to hear from you guys down below. Do you guys love Black Ops Cold War as much as I do? And also, just for any of you that are unaware, yes, the game is safe to play again, so if you've been wanting to return to Black Ops Cold War, but you weren't sure if it was safe to do so just because of all the stuff that was going on with the hackers before, well, it's safe to do so now, so definitely hop back on and enjoy this game, because it truly is something special. But anyway, as always, a massive shout out and thank you to all the patrons, thank you to all of you in the low baller tier, and an even bigger shout out and thank you to all of you in the big baller tier, Mellow Last King, and Big Daddy Matty, and the biggest shout out and thank you of all to all of you in the G tier, Ryder Vengeance, and Little Cheese Girl. Thank you guys so much. You guys are literal legends. I love you. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.